This is the Rollercoaster Show with me, Josh Harrington, Andy Simcox, Alan Smith, and Tracy Martin. We're going to reflect on yesterday's 1-1 draw against Wigan and then look forward to Tuesday night's April Fool's Day game against Exeter City at home. So let's get stuck into it. So, Andy, Connor's still not got his first win as interim boss. 7 games left now after yesterday, and again one of those games where didn't really look to create too much. I mean, probably man of the match Kieran Flavel, which is never a great sign when your keeper's probably been your best player on the pitch again. But team selection wise, not really too much to play with. Again, a couple of young players in the side. Jallo making his first start as well this season. So he feels like this season just slowly but surely petering itself away.
I don't know if Connor was making a statement or not by both Luke Connell and Adam Phillips being on the bench. They've not been at the very best lately. So, well, I suppose it did surprise me. It didn't surprise me. It did surprise me a bit, really. Um, I think I think Jonathan Bland deserved his place, and I thought he played all right. I don't think we were awful. I think both teams matched each other. You're right. Kieran kept us in it with a couple of really good saves. We looked. I mean, it's just so ironic. We looked a bit suspect, to put it mildly, on the right side of our defence, where Maldajivini was, and they got through a couple of times there. Certainly one on the left as well, where if got a block in, just as the guy were coming to the near post to put it in, that were well. But yeah, Kieran made a couple of really good saves that kept us in it. We scored an excellent goal. Yeah, it's a free kick. Referee didn't give us that many free kicks, but they gave us that one, and it was an excellent free kick, absolutely excellent. Um, and then it petered out a bit as a game. I thought it were all right. I don't think we were anywhere near as bad as we have been. Some of our passing were a bit astray, particularly in the last third. I think we were a bit weak in the last third. Max Watters didn't have his best game. He ran about a lot, but he didn't have his best game. But there weren't a right lot getting to him. Um, Kalechi, some of his passing were all right. Some of it went astray and what have you. Um, Johnny Russell went forward with some purpose sometimes and then checked back. Well, we could have had a few more shots in the second half and didn't. And then Humphries came on, did all right. Did all right. He put his centre about, had a few shots, one wildly away from the goal, but their goalkeeper made a couple of decent saves, Mr. Tickle. It was hard luck, again, in the first half, it was hard luck for Connor McCarthy. He were offside. He were offside, but it were a pity because the linesman did well to pick him out to be offside because they said there were a melee all piling in for him to put it in, were putting it mildly. And then, God dear, I don't. I quite like Miles Givini. I think there's times when he comes forward with the ball that it looks good and it creates things because somebody has to come to him, which leaves a gap for him to pass it. But how many times is not built like a big outhouse, is he? He ain't. I tried to think what words to use. He's not an outhouse, that's for sure. And yet again, it's not the first time that he's tried to shield the ball and truthfully made a pig's ear of it. And we've 70 or 77 minutes, wherever it was, we've gifted him a goal again. And Miles, he's got to stop doing that. He keeps doing that and he keeps cocking it up. Get the flipping ball away. Just get it away. And I don't know why we need to do that. I just don't know. It was an absolute gift. And to be honest, 77 minutes, yet again, last 15 minutes, we did it again. And it's become endemic in our club to give away the most and we're getting more and more ludicrous as the season goes on. So all the hard work, Kieran's hard work saving a few, all the effort, and they did put some effort in yesterday. We're pleased with that. All undone by well, stupidity, poor defending, and then to add insult to injury, Seb Stockbridge, oh dear me, what a decision. You could say that when he absolutely took out Stephen Humphries, Jason Kerr, he just took him out. No, not close to the ball, not interested in ball. He was turned, he just took him out. He's not going past. He tried his hardest to stay on his feet. You can say we're a long way from goal. I don't care. Though nobody near him. Nobody were catching him. I thought, to have a yellow card was shameful. That referee needs to have a long hard talk, and I hope that the referees association have a long hard look at his ability, because that was a shockingly poor decision. So he should have gone. I'm not saying it made any difference. It might have, them down to 10 men, centre half, big centre half. It was pretty sent about Jason Kerr, but no more so than then. That was just he got away with close to murder yesterday, and that referee enabled that sort of defending, and he needs resting. That referee, he's not fit to have a whistle in his hand. No,
Yeah,
go on about.
it were a bit of a shame how with that. Obviously towards the end there when Humphries had turned him and he's got half the pitch to run into, and he's beyond him already. I mean, you could potentially argue that a fullback might have made it back round, but at the time of the foul, Humphries is in front of all of them. He's only got the keeper to beat. So to me, it's a stonewall red card, to be honest.
Unbelievable decision by the referee. It was the same referee who last time he refereed us were at Cambridge. And at Cambridge, that's when MDG didn't clear ball and Cambridge scored, didn't they? And then Humphries went full length at pitch, which he would have done yesterday and hopefully scored at Cambridge. So, yeah, gutted about that. But it were poor. He were poor all afternoon, I thought, referee. I mean, our players, I know we got scored the goal from the free kick, but we were arguing that he should have played advantage at that moment in time because we were wide open on left-hand side and it was free-flowing football. So, yeah, I'll give him credit that he pulled it up and we got free kick. But if it wouldn't have gone in, it would have probably stopped us probably scoring at that moment in time. So, to be honest, I can only give him about 2 out of 10 for that performance yesterday. He let us down, to be honest. But yeah, good luck to youngsters that I thought they put a good shift in. We play with, I think, with more tempo yesterday, what I noticed, and quicker passing. We weren't going as sideways, backwards as much, which made a difference, which surprised me. But Connor's game plan, I think it's growing. It's work in progress. But still, we can't get those 3 points. And to be honest, it were 2 points drop yesterday, majorly. And for me, I'm not knocking Kieran. Kieran made lots of saves, especially that one. It last 9 minutes. Were a tremendous save. He kept us in the game and got us a point. But I don't understand the communication, MDG and Kieran. If you're there, if I'd have been Kieran, clear it. You know, they've got to get better communication between the players. And MDG was strong enough. It were, well, comedy of errors, to say the least.
Yeah, I would say on that one, Tracy, with the obviously goal we conceded, for me, it's more on MDG than it is Flavel because he just like screens in front of him, and that's it. As a defender, you've got to protect the keeper to come out and grab it like that when he's coming. He can see he's coming. He knows he's there because that's obviously why he runs in front of their striker, try and slow him down. But there's trying to slow him down, and then there's like actually stopping him, which would be to get your arms there, feel him, stop him from getting behind you, which MDG doesn't. He just thinks that it's almost a little bit nonchalant in the way that he does it, and a little bit naive of just hoping the ball will make it to Kieran before it actually does get to him, and their forward takes advantage of that, drops a bit of a shoulder, and pokes it around him, which as much as you can say keep should come out and take everything, yeah, he should, but also MDG should help him in that situation and stop the striker from actually being able to get to the ball anyway, which most of the defenders are going to do that. They're going to use the body and just be basically a roadblock there for him.
Yeah, I think sort of similar to what Andy said. I think MDG's really grown this season and probably Yeah, he had wobbles. He's prone to a mistake, but I think overall he's consistently one of our better players, and I think he has got real potential. Having said that, there's been a lot of talk about the senior professionals in the team helping out the younger players, etc. And he's probably now becoming one of our senior professionals, certainly in terms of games he's played for us. And yeah, if all else fails, just whack it out for a corner. I just think he knows that there's a keeper there in the goals that's played one full game. He's a young lad, very young lad. He's only just made his debut, and I just think you've just got to think, right, okay, I've got to make a decision. And he knows he's not a big, he knows his body frame, he knows he's not a big centre half. And I think the disappointing thing is he's made a couple of errors, like Andy said, he's done similar things like this. I mean, his debut was of a similar ilk where he should have been sent off and he didn't. So, and you think, well, that's okay, it's your debut, but we're now 18 months down the line from that. So I just think he just needs to, sort of, if it all fails, just put it out. I know we do them more. I should have done that if they'd scored from corner. But I think he's just got to take a bit more responsibility. Flavel probably did not need to have cleared everything out, and I've seen comments saying we're a bit far out, etc. But I just think MDG's got to take charge of that. He's potentially our third captain on that pitch, it seemed. When there's no Connell and there's no Roberts, he's taken the armband, and I just think that says something. He's just got to take responsibility. I thought he was a bit exposed at times yesterday because Bland played in a more advanced role, which I thought really helped us going forward. And I won't criticise Bland at all for the goal, but I think it did expose him a bit. But he's got to do better there. I think I mentioned yesterday he's got to go to Fabio. I thought he were a nuisance. He were a pain in the backside for them. He lost his energy late on, which he's going to do. But he's an handful, and I thought he made a difference. And we've always said about improvements, and we're getting slightly. I'm not going to get over the top, but I thought we're gradually getting better. We're getting a little bit of identity under Connor, and like Andy said, at least we seem to have a bit more motivation, passion, desire, a little bit more of that. It seems to be, whether that's leaving out Connell Phillips, which is a brave decision. I know we've technically not got a lot to play for, but let's be honest, they're two of our certainly senior, more experienced and should be better players. Both did play particularly last week, so I completely understand why I did it. But brave decision. But I thought we were all right. I thought we played all right. I think draw were a fair result. But I thought we seemed to play more advanced, a bit more pressure, pressing more as a team. They seem to know a little bit more what they're doing. He spoke such a lot, Connor, about attitude and culture and training hard and working hard. And I noticed in his interview after the game, he's talked about he's going to be there today at the club. If some of the players want to go in to recover, he's going to be there. So I think he's trying to shift something, whatever that something was, whatever the culture was, whatever was wrong. He does seem to be trying to change it. So you've got to give him a little bit of credit. I think we've certainly got better under him slightly. And at the end of the day, that's all we can ask, because we were getting worse, progressively worse. So, not getting overexcited, but it were a bit better.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the things now, Andy, which we've all sort of resigned to in a way of like, there's not really been a quick fix this season of when we did move Darrell Clark, and it's not like we've now changed into a different side. I think from that point, it was very much, it's going to take a little bit of time to almost reset the culture and the approach to it. The one thing that I did almost like in a way was when Humphreys did go down. It was the first time in ages I've actually seen 10 players go over to the referee and actually question the decision. It makes a change of what it's been for previous seasons, almost like apathetic towards those decisions on the pitch of people are actually almost bothered in somewhat of a game that doesn't really matter now. We're more or less out the, well, we're mathematically not, but physically are out the playoff picture. But at least there's still some sort of passion and desire to at least want the correct decision, especially when you saw Stephen Humphrey's face when he turns around, it's yellow card and not red. At least it's nice to actually see that togetherness in a way, as opposed to before when it'd be the one player who'd be fouled would be moaning about it, and then there'd be 10 other bodies just stood watching.
Pure Connor getting to the referee's face. Everybody else has been doing it but us. and that it don't come as a surprise that we did. Shameful, shameful decision, and the right, the right to feel aggrieved. I feel aggrieved, and I wasn't even there. The right to feel aggrieved, and I don't. Anybody that tries to say that that weren't a sending off because he was so far from goal, or there were a player 20 yards away from him, they need to. If anybody does, they need to give their heads a wobble because he. I don't care if he were at edge of his own box. To be honest, that was the most shameful of professional fouls. Absolutely, I've got to do this because we're going to lose this game if I don't do it. And I think Kerr were as surprised when he got a yellow card as anything else. He got out of jail, didn't he? He absolutely got out of jail with that. But yeah, it were good. It were good. I know it sounds stupid, but it were good that we felt aggrieved, and I'm glad that they got enough about them to feel aggrieved. I mean, after all, we are a top four side, 3 or 4 sides, so we should feel aggrieved when things go against us when we're only down to 11th, when we should be up there, barring injuries, obviously. But yeah, as Tracy said, it was a steady improvement. We didn't lie down and die. We just did what we did. We gifted a goal, and then Alan said it. A great save right at the death, and that could have made a difference because God, I've been even how miserable as it was because of the nature of the equaliser. But if Kieran had to save that, and he's grown, hasn't he? The kid's grown in stature, and I don't hold him at all responsible for the goal. Tracy's nailed it. That Mile as a senior professional, third in line for the throne, if you like, and you take charge of that, even if it's an experienced goalkeeper, and he ain't like second game. You take control of it. So just get it away. Just get it away. Nobody's going to complain if you just clear a ball. It's what defenders do. They defend, not leave it to somebody else and just shimmy in front. Not even doing that. Not even you're not getting past me and like they do to shepherd it out to play for a goal kick, that sort of thing. They didn't even do that. Anyway, I'm not going on about him, but yeah, it was good that they were bothered. God, we are picky. We are clutching at straws, aren't we? That we're glad that we bothered. God damn me.
It's been a change for previous weeks when it hasn't felt like that as such.
Yeah.
It felt like that. One thing, although, that is still a consistent is obviously the manner of goals in which we are conceding. It's almost as though teams don't have to work hard to get these to score against us. Such, I think Wigan, there were a couple of good saves by Kieran, and then I think the one in the first half where they squared it back and missed from about 6 yards out, which another decent opportunity sort of missed by them. So you can't have too much to moan about in regards to that. But I think it's just the manner of goals in which we have conceded sort of all season. When you sort of go back to being 2-0 up against Northampton at home, and then being pegged back to 2-2 after playing sort of so well, then chucking 2 or 3 in, it does feel frustrating more than anything else that we're not really making teams work hard, and we've not really made teams work hard throughout two years now for the goals that we are conceding.
We're still the team that just keeps giving, aren't we? It's simple. Teams haven't got to work to score. We just get ball away. I mean, what I did feel yesterday, playing out front back, were poor. We were poor playing from his back line yesterday and getting possession away cheaply. Going back to sending off, for me, if that had been on boot on other foot, I'm certain Seb Stockbridge had sent our player off. I said that to Kate yesterday. We wouldn't have got a yellow card. I'm certain about that. But as I say, he didn't play it at rules at game, did he? It were wrong. I'm not saying we could have won it if we'd have been playing against 10 men, because it always gets harder. But justice wasn't served yesterday. But yeah, we've got to get tighter on as defence and giving cheap goals away. It has to be worked at, and I think that's down to confidence, a lack of confidence we've got in the squad.
I don't tell. They've all taken taking it in turns to make glaring errors, and you don't have to coach a defender to kick the ball away. He just needs to get it clear. That's That's not about confidence. That's being
basics,
overconfident for me. Or
basics.
goalkeeper will get that if I just stand there. Get it away. Just get it away.
Rosed.
Yeah. Anywhere.
What's the old adage? If in doubt, kick it out.
Yeah.
It is weird though, Tracy. But it is something that it began with more or less Jordan Williams last season of like making individual errors, sort of leading to goals consistently, and then MDG last season as well would make quite a few and it'd result in a goal. But it just seems like something that no matter like manager style, the way in which you do play or anything like that, these individual errors just keep cropping up. And I think the frustrating part for me is we're not learning because, like we just said, MDG's done this a couple of times where it might not result in a goal, but like he'll have gone to shepherd the ball out and strikers coming in, nicked it and kept it in play and things like that, or he's come and nicked it in front of him. It's almost like that. It's that naivety for me that's frustrating. Of you can just go and take control of that situation by getting to the ball first, and it removes Kieran from it, removes their strike from it. Even if he just takes it to the corner and then tries to clear it from there, it's dealt with then, and it's just that naivety for me that is frustrating because you can't really coach it out of somebody or a team as such. You need them to realise it themselves.
Maybe not, but I think they're all guilty of it this season. Like Earl's mates dropped some absolute clangers, and then Roberts yesterday nearly did one where he was doing the same. Oh, I'll push him out wide, and then he ran round him. Early on, it was. I think Bland ended up making a fantastic block because the Wigan winger went round him right at the byline. It was early on, and he crossed it, and they should have finished. And I think it was like a Bland slid in, and it was a really good block. But again, that's the captain of the team, somebody who's played a lot. And I think it don't matter who plays in the back three, they're all likely to make an error and a big error. Pines is prone to massive errors. I mean, I haven't seen a massive error from McCarthy, to be fair, but he hasn't played a lot. But he's obviously, I just think, it don't matter who we play there. You're always thinking, at some point in a game, someone's going to just drop a clanger, to be honest. When you say, yeah, it's individual, but then you're thinking, well, why do they all do it? Why, like our two experienced pundits here have said, how difficult is it to just clear it? And if that's all we're saying as coaches, it's pretty, you can say it to a kids' football team, can't you? If you're at the back and you're under pressure, just clear the ball. And I think, well, maybe we're at that level now where we just say, if you're at the back, just clear it. Because as Al says, we're not of the highest ability at the moment, it seems, to be able to pass it out from the back. We are prone to giving them the ball in really good positions. So maybe we just need to resort to that for the rest of the season and then see what happens next season. But yeah, we've got a bit of a, endemic, I don't know, of defenders making just absolute errors, howlers, in fact. And the number of goals it's cost us this season, I mean, would it have made a difference to where we are in the league? Who knows? But, yesterday, for example, we'd have won that game. I'm not saying we deserved to win the game, so necessarily I think we did. I think draw was probably a fair result, other than the Stephen Humphreys who might have gone on to score. But I just think the number of games we've thrown away because of stupid errors. How many teams have played against us and scored quality goals compared to how many teams have played against us and we've given them goals? It'd be interesting to look at because we have thrown some points away this season.
I think it's not that hard to coach. What Connor needs to do, like a succession of managers before him needed to do, has just said to Mile, you're a good player. I think you're a decent defender. You're good going forward, but you're absolutely crap at shepherding ball back to how to play or to goalkeeper. So don't do it. Just don't do it because you're crap at it. It's the one thing you're crap at. So you're doing it.
We had Sanderson, didn't we? Remember he went through a phase where early on in his career he did that a lot. And I remember against Birmingham he got hammered for it and he was arrested. And then look at what he developed into. And he clearly was coached to do, somebody must have said that to him. So, and, he became an outstanding centre-half. So, I don't know.
And you're right what you said, Tracy. We aren't these silly errors. Look what points we'd have had on board. We wouldn't. I mean, yeah, we're on free fall, but we would have been closer to top six. We aren't the silly errors, and that's got to be drilled into players, hasn't it? And it's individual errors. You can't coach that, can you? That's players under pressure.
In all our many coaches, are any of them defenders? I'm not sure they are. So,
Collins was.
well, yeah.
And that what started it. It's his fault. I think
Rolling
I
back
blame
the
Jim
years.
Eiley, Al.
Hey,
Get another
Jim
coach.
Eiley, were his fault.
Get a defensive.
Eiley out, Andy.
Get
Eiley
Eiley
out.
I think from what you said though, then I love where would be. There's at least, I mean, you could chalk up yesterday as Trey said, probably a draw was a fair result, but had we not made that mistake, we might not have conceded, so we'd have won that. So it's stretch point. Northampton, when we drew that to a piece from errors, I think Selena probably done it a couple. We'd be at least within touch at top six now without them, and I feel like it's not evened itself out of we've not benefited from other teams making mistakes and scoring from them. As such, it's been we've got to work hard for our goals, and no one ever seems to gift us stuff because they just defend how every team defends in League One, which is leather it as far as you can away from your own net and deal with them situations, whereas we do the opposite and try to defend even harder by making it harder for themselves. But yeah, right. Get your thoughts on yesterday's game down in the comments below. And we'll have a little bit of further discussion there on that. Right, looking forward into April Fool's Day, and we welcome Exeter City to Oakwell. Andy, this feels like one that the headlines are written from it already. I might already start typing out my title for the next video when we do a show on Wednesday to react to it. Because I feel
Fred
like
Carno, is that what you're talking about? Fred Carno, Charlie Caroli.
yes, I feel like there's potentially for some very punny headlines.
Monsieur Camembert, all of them. We get them all in. Get 'em all in. Yeah, it could be a bit tricky. Although we beat them at their ground, remember, which this season, which were they've often been. Oh, they've often felt like our bogey team. Certainly, me and Al remember them being our bogey team. Or well, especially. So they're not. I know they lost yesterday against Wrexham at home, but they've not been on a bad run. They've until yesterday they'd not lost since I think something like 22nd of
That is correct.
February, something
22nd of
like
Feb
that.
against Charlton, 3-0.
Yeah, so they've not been doing. There's a few draws in there, but they've not been doing bad. So I don't think you can say that there's any team in this league that are absolute mugs. Crawley yesterday, mind you, Rotherham's not been pulling up any trees, but Crawley hammered Rotherham at Rotherham. So you can say it across all divisions. Sometimes there's no mugs. There's always somebody that can beat somebody. So by no means going to be an easy game. They're very similar in league position and points and what have you to Wigan. So I expect them to battle hard, and we've just got to give our fans something to be flipping cheerful about because we should have been cheering at like Tracy said, and you said we should have been cheering a win for Connor, and we're not. We're complaining about from a winning position. We're complaining about poor defending and poor refereeing, and I just want to have something nice to be able to say properly, about a win. And I think Conor Horan's trying his hardest, and it'd be nice for him to get a win. But they've got McGuinness up front who scored their goal and he's good at. He's a big, strong lad. I will say this: don't try and shepherd the ball out if he's behind you, because he's a big, strong lad. So don't muck about with him. Get it away if it's him. He'll go down in box a few times. I've absolutely no doubt. Big, strong lad like him. And of course, they've got a defender that wouldn't muck about with it at the back. They've got Goose, Angus MacDonald. Al. They've got him at back. So a bit like Mark Robert. Hopefully he'll not. Well, hopefully he will. Hopefully he'll have caught it. He'll have caught it from his past coaching. Oh well, he'll make a daft mistake and let us score, but you just can't see it, can you? So we'll see. And of course, flipping Jack Aitchison will be back, and he'll do something. He'll score and what have you, and break his hearts and all that. So it's all written into it. Get some clown emojis ready.
It's perfect for April Fool's Day.
I'll send you a photograph of Monsieur Camembert from France if that helps.
It's all right. I'm just going to use that one that Reading fans made of you. That'll do.
It's a winner. It's
Never get tired of that one.
No,
No,
April we can roll out constantly.
And let's be right. Oh dear God, let's be right. We're playing Reading right at the end, and also, no doubt that'll be making a return. We'll see.
Especially will be when they've got something to play for and we aren't.
They're still in with a shout, aren't they?
Yeah, I'll tell them that the bottlers. They're going to bottle it again.
You heard it here first, Andy. Nice one.
To be fair,
I'm not sure I'll dare do that.
We are due a new.
Probably will.
We're due a new updates at clown emoji. So I'll clip it up, send it to some Reading podcast so they can get started on it already for us.
Well, my son downloaded it for my birthday. Downloaded that bit of video, so you never know. I'm presuming I'll be trying to do an away end with him, so I'll see if I can get it off him and somehow weave it into the away end. Just to amuse me really.
I can't believe you're plugging in away end about 2 months in advance.
And I didn't even mention Birmingham away end, have I? I didn't even mention that, which I'm trying to sort out.
No, not about one at end of season. Al, how do you feel about this one? Because as Andy's mentioned there, a couple of returnees, Angus MacDonald, I think, made the transfer during January from Aberdeen down to Exeter. Jack Aitchen coming back as well, which, typical fashion, as Andy's mentioned, no doubt he'll have some involvement in a goal that scored. In fact, it'll be Jack Aitchen crossing it into Angus MacDonald, if I had to have a guess.
Well, Jack nearly scored early on, didn't he, against us at their ground? He were unlucky.
Did he score against us last season at home? I think he did.
But me and Andy remembers Exeter City coming to Oakwell. I think it was 3rd of May, Tuesday night in 1977. Superheads
3rd of May?
Hold on.
It was? That's a bit random. I think it was 3rd of May.
Alan.
It was sometime in 97. No,
hold on.
I think
It was the 3rd of May. I've got the stats. We were 3-0 up, if you remember.
Well, say that then. He said, I think it was. You've got it written down in front of you, flipping fraud.
5,293 in Oakwell. In Old Oakwell, we're 3-0 up at half time.
We were. And playing well and all, Al. Playing well.
What it Eiley out.
Eiley out.
Al, can I say, if you not search that,
sorry.
do you actually remember that game? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes, remember that one. 3-0 up at half time and we lost 4-3. Unbelievable scenes.
Could have been this season.
Fourth division. Good
we
grief.
threw it away. 4 times we threw it away.
An unreal night, wasn't it, Andy?
Yeah.
And we were pushing a bit. I know, what we saying, and it were, well, what can I say? Don't trust Exeter City. Put it that way. I'm not a fan of them. They come to Oakwell and it's like, it's a big ask, but depends who he's going to put out in it, Connor. Is he going to mix it up again?
This will be only game, Al. Only game I said that I hope we're not 3-0 up at half time. We need to be 5 up to stand a chance.
Well, I'm good to due to circumstances. I can't make Tuesday night. It's unfortunate, but evenings tend to be not good for myself, so I won't be there. So I'll be watching at home. But yeah, good luck to it, lads, and shout for me because it's going to be gutting not being there.
Well, that's probably the best thing, that Jonah the Jinx Smith won't be in the ground, so we might win.
I mean, you can't take any blame for it, although we will blame you now for not being there if we lose. So,
do you know, you're sitting there in front of him, Tracy, saying, "Well, you every time we do an instant reaction, you blame him for it when he's not there. When he's not there, come on, Tracy, have some bottle."
I've just said I'll blame him if we lose because he's not there. So we've got a win-win here, I think. Blame Al.
Yeah,
there we go. That's reason
Hold on.
we give these
Look
goals
at these
away.
broad shoulders. They can take it.
Tracy, it's Exeter feel like one of those. Well, in fact, no. Going on to team selection. Sorry. Obviously, Phillips rested. Connell rested. I don't think a reason of having an eye on Tuesday as sort of a game to try and win. Almost hope you get something at Wigan as such. But it will be interesting to see the selection because there is a fresh Luke Connell, a fresh Adam Phillips. It could be difficult for some of those younger lads to play back-to-back games in League One just because of the intensity of those games compared to what they're normally used to playing in. So I think it could be interesting to see sort of the team selection on Tuesday. Maybe something that more resembles what we've seen for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I don't think he had one. I can't imagine he's picked that team thinking, we'll put out a strong side against Exeter. I can't imagine that was the thought behind it. But yeah, possibly Phillips coming in. Like I say, Jallo did look tired at the end. And that pretty much is a straight swap. Humphreys, I thought Humphreys actually played really well when he came on because I don't think he's been playing particularly well, but I thought he made a difference when he came on. So again, it's whether you freshen him up for Max, who again's still coming back from injuries. There's a possibility. Connell, don't know. And Wakala did all right. But again, he's don't often play 90 minutes. He didn't yesterday, but I don't know. Be interesting. Maybe Conor Barrett might come in for Bland, similar. And obviously brought him in, and he's just come back from international duty, hasn't he? So, yeah, I think maybe he might freshen it up. But then, how old are some of these lads? 19, 20? Should they not be able to play till 90 minutes in a week? I don't know. What do you?
Can't remember.
No. Anyway, on that note, saying Phillips and Connell were rested, Smith's going to be rested Tuesday night. So I'm on touchline, I'm on sideline. You can't ever argue saying players are rested. I'm just rested as well.
Yeah. So
you never mentioned it, Al.
No, didn't know you weren't there. I don't know. It'd be interesting. It'll be interesting whether he rests them, and if he doesn't, I think it says more about him not. I think it says more about Connell and Phillips if he doesn't bring them back in and Humphreys, because I think that's more of a possibly. I'm maybe reading too much into it, but possibly Connor's thoughts if he were to get the job going forward. I think it says more about him trusting in and having faith in the younger players that they're going to be the ones that's going to take us into next season. Possibly, if they do come back in, then it's just a case of, well, we've just rotated the squad because, as we've said, we've not massively anything to play for. Be interesting if they do come back in to see their attitude. I mean, when Connell came on again, he just did what he did. I don't think there's any question about his commitment. He came on, he took the captain's armband, and he carried on. He didn't look like he'd taken his bat and ball home. Phillips, that'd be more of an interesting one, I think, because I think he's got a bit. Don't know. I don't personally think we'll see him in a Barnsley shirt next season. Definitely not. But yeah, April Fool's Day. I bet Exeter thought that when they saw that Tuesday night at Barnsley. Crikey, what a great fixture that is for them. The problem for me, I think, is Oatwell hasn't been bouncing, has it, for some time? And I think, Tuesday night, Exeter at home, it's going to be so quiet, I think. And I do actually genuinely feel for Conor Horan in that he's probably not got any sort of big support or going to get any big support towards the end of the season just because of the nature of what he got, what he inherited. And it's a bit of a shame, really, because he is a bit of a legend. A lot of, certainly in the more recent times, he's one of our players that we talk about is one of the greats. And I think it's quite a shame for him that he's not experienced any real, gratitude, because whatever happens, I think he stepped in and he's done all right, and I just think it's a bit of a shame that he's not going to experience it, because he certainly won't on Tuesday. Whatever, if we win 6-0, it won't matter, because I can't see there being a big crowd, and I certainly can't see it bouncing. So I just want a bit of things start turning around a little bit. So towards the end of the season, last couple of games, we can at least give him a bit of thanks, I suppose, because whatever happens, he's come back this season. I know we still hark back to, well, he came back as a player and we never seen him play irrelevant now that, he's our manager for the foreseeable. And I just think it would have been nice to give him a little bit of support, and he's not really had that. Through no fault of his own, might I add. You
feel for Exeter fans though, don't you? Who's got this fixture on a Tuesday night, travelling full length it fixture.
I mean, to be fair to them, wherever they go, really. They've got a bit of a trek, but this is not good, is it?
It's one of their longer trips than that love this season. I think it's a good point you made there, Tracy. It's probably been such a stark contrast from when Connor played for us. That first season of Rio, not great, but then the season after that, of sort of the success of promotion and the success up until Jan of what always sat top 6 in Championship at the time in which he left, and he is one of the modern day greats and legends alongside the likes of Adam Amel, that came and sort of is someone that fans have always almost looked out for and always had a bit of an eye on his career. It's just such a stark contrast that he's come into this situation. It's completely different from when he left, as such. But then you've got people who can't be bothered on a Tuesday night, not turn up. instead. She's not bothering. She's not bothered watching on telly instead. It's meant to be nice weather actually on Tuesday. No, I'm not trying to sell the game. They're doing a much better job than Craig and Tom did last week. Because neither of them were happy about Wigan game, so doing a much
It was
better
nice
job.
to hear Tom speak.
No,
Silent Tom's got to be forced into speaking, bless him.
just moaning about how boring yesterday's game were going to be.
would
Really
do.
selling tickets.
It would do.
Prediction, Andy?
2-1 to Barnsley. Absolutely nailed on. Absolutely nailed on. Don't worry about it, Al. It's not going there, remember, so it's going to be easy.
Well,
We'll give them goal.
Season, and what could this be a 6-win at Oakwell?
Al, try and cheer us up. We're miserable enough as it is, Al.
You're second Craig.
We've been talking about Silent Tom and Craig being miserable.
Excuse me, Mr. Simcox, my number one
Sir
show.
to you, Alan. Sir to you.
2-0. I'm going for a clean sheet. Surprisingly.
No, to be fair, we have shown Sprouts that we'll always keep a clean sheet. I can see where you've come from. You've come to that conclusion.
Nailed on, isn't it, Al?
Yeah. We've been so solid defensively all season. Tracy?
2-2.
Oh, Desmond. I do like a 2-2. I'm going to go 3-1 to us. That is.
You had to clarify that because we were like,
could be out.
3-1 to us. I'm just going to keep saying it until we win 3-1, so it might take a few seasons, but we'll get there.
See, there's still a bit of positivity on red all over. Just.
It's called mass hysteria, Al.
Clocks have gone for Al.
Delusional.
To be honest, I'll blame it on tablets I'm taking.
I don't know.
I blame it on clock screen forward. I'm a bit tired this morning, so that's why I've gone 3-1. That's mine, sleep deprivation. Right, we'll be back on Wednesday. There's no reactions outside ground, just double checking. Tom can't bother, can he, on Tuesdays?
Too late for him now.
Yeah, that's right, I thought.
Needs his beauty sleep.
School night. It's a school night for him.
Yeah, Tom can't be asked, so we'll do it on Wednesday instead.
Can't be asked. Al's not coming. There's just no point.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah,
wait.
but I'm gutted that I can't go. I'm gutted.
Nah, you were celebrating it earlier. You're buzzing that you'll be able to watch it from telly, feet up, nice and chilled out.
Nicely warm.
Yeah. It'll rain now, and you'll be.
I'm going to go around their house, you know. I'm going to snip his flipping sky boat so he can't do it. Give him something to moan about.
Yeah, you have to watch highlights back on YouTube instead. We'll be back on Wednesday anyway with our reaction to the Exeter game and previewing Birmingham at the weekend as well. We'll see you there, you Reds.